Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it looks like the controls are relatively the same. Oh, fuck. Hey, well, this is huge. What can we do with this? Day you can break. What the fuck was the voice I was given by? I forget already. Jesus. Oh, what can we do with this? I doubt you can break it. I guess we could try pushing it. Wait, no matter how you look at it. I mean, it kind of looks like it's budging a little bit. Oh, what the heck are you doing? Hurry up and help. We can get by if we help each other. Let's keep it up so we can get out of here. Okay. Just making sure the mic's a bit closer. The hydromechanic pipe for my knee joint is on the verge of breaking down. So because of that fall from the ceiling, followed by pushing this mega colossal boulder. It won't be funny if my gear malfunctions in a huge cavern like this. Your friends won't come and help us? Well, it'd be a waste of time waiting. They probably won't come. But aren't they your friends? Well, we believe in a liberal upbringing. They'll think we can escape by ourselves. Wonder if Doc is okay. Oh, don't worry about the man you were with. I'm sure our guys saved him by now. Huh? Huh? What is it? We wouldn't have fallen in here if you had only listened to me. What? Don't blame this on me. You should have surrendered instead of challenging me. All I wanted was your gear. Don't be ridiculous. You're the one who blindly attacked me. What else was I supposed to do? Thought I might die if I didn't fight you. What? I was taking it easy on you. Couldn't you tell? They're a bit dense. Don't lie to me. I know you're serious. What? You want some? Let's have it out. Right here. Yeah, and then the loser gets to sit in the fucking bottom of the cavern for, until their rations run out. Wait! Settling it right here comes first. I won't be able to get anything done until we settle this once and for all. I thought you wanted a truce for now. Getting out of here comes first. Once we're out of here, then I'll fight you all you want. Let's hurry up and move on. I don't like you very much. Ah, damn it. I'll get you when we're out of here. Kind of going back and forth on what I want Bart's voice to be, but whatever. Alright, I was actually curious if we were going to get into a fight. So the question then becomes, are these desert bandit-like men here with their robot. Also, this robot looks incredibly familiar. Anyways. Oh, okay, it's single target, so it's alright. Oh, we really don't need to worry about them. Okay. Hey, Fox. Yeah, I haven't really been streaming much lately. I'm trying to get back into the swing of it now. So as fuel conservation will come into play a little bit more inside the mech. It's probably where it actually starts to matter more. Shows we didn't really look in here very much, so I wanted to go back and see if we're missing an item or something. Rude. Yeah, we'll take this time to charge. Yum yum. Actually, it looks like Bart doesn't have fuel. Oh no, he does. Okay. Extra AI. And decent amounts of money. No, it doesn't look like there's anything up here. That's alright. Actually, maybe. Okay. Yeah. I like. Ooh. Okay, it wasn't anything worth worrying about. But I was curious for a second because that might look tankier than the weird mining robots you were fighting. Some of these camera angles could really use some work. I'm actually curious, can we run from fights? Oh, we can. Okay, there it is. What does a booster do? Oh, it looks like it's making me use more fuel, but at the cost of also doing a lot more power on my swings. It's good to know. Can come in a lot of, can be a very useful thing to know. Brave little man. Actually, maybe that isn't what the booster does. I suppose we are doing about that damage anyways. So maybe I misunderstood that. Okay. Ava excavation site number 8, gear number 3. Sand sensors have detected an abnormal amount of sand. The sand barrier south of terrace stones has been sealed to prevent sand from entering the excavation site. What is with this gear? It's well maintained for a gear just left lying around like this. There's a barrier wall to the southeast of terrace stones. The east barrier wall. Okay. So this direction is straight south. This one is straight west. So south would be the only way to potentially go southeast. Why do they do so little damage? Did it just hurt itself? What? Wait, was I able to attack it twice there? Weird. Oh, never mind, that's gonna end up going north. Waterfall Grotto Sand Sensor. Can we equip anything for our mechs? I figured we probably could, but... That or we can't equip it just out in the middle of nowhere. I guess that makes a little bit of sense too, huh? Who'd have thought there would be someone living in a place like this? Let's check it out. Well, I mean, there's excavators down here. So. This person is also a remote moron. Bart does seem that way, yes. He sounds like he's gonna be the comic relief character of sorts. Oh, it's funny. It's funny. Sound fair? It's funny because my brain instantly went into Bart, the character right now, because they're really that is entirely the kind of character he is, or at least that he's being painted as right now. Who knows? You know, anime storytelling. He'll have his redemption arc, I'm sure, at some point. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I've heard of it. Oh god. Ugh, there we go. Here. Ugh. This one, as for... yeah, it's one of those moments of, yes, please, roast me, make fun of me. Tell me, whatever, right? And then they're like, wait, guys, no, I didn't mean it. Jesus. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Okay, so clearly we have to go in there, but there might be stuff to find out here. Pretty much, yeah. I don't know. I never understood that why people would put themselves in a situation where they clearly don't want what they're asking for, kind of deal, right? Yeah. Yeah, this goes somewhere. Okay, we're above. So we'll go back. This is clearly one of those moments of like they're going to let us traverse the entire dungeon, but we're gonna have to anyways. So might as well not sidetrack where we don't need to, I guess. I don't know what these things. Wait, what? Did they just give me more fuel? No, so at first I thought it might be helping me, but it isn't. I was gonna say it'd be a pretty funny little enemy that it like heals and gives us shit, but need something. Yeah. It's going pretty good. I think I'm catching a cold, which is a fun time, but I'll be fine. But he's a good boy. Hey, at the moment, he does seem like he's that kind of guy, though. Like I said, I mean, you know, we just met him, so maybe maybe things will change, but. He's definitely got that bumbling idiot kind of thing going on. Hey, Faye. This is a surprise. There's someone living in this place. Huh? It's been a while. I thought I could hear the sound of gears. I assume they're yours. Well, anyway, come on back in here and make yourselves at home. It's been a long time since I had a visitor. What happened? Did you fall from the surface? Oh, I guess that's it. I see. That's too bad. I can tell from the sound that you both ride good gears. But the legs seem to be playing up a bit. You mean you can tell what's wrong just by the sound of the footsteps? Yes. It's easy to know what's wrong with gears by the sounds they make. My guess is that one of them needs a new hydromechanic pipe in its joints. It's making a nasty sound. It must be hard to walk with it. Oh, by the way, the name's Balthazar, but you can just call me Old Man Ball. Oh, yeah. Looks like we've got a real fanatic here, huh? What's an old man like you doing in a place like this? I guess you can call me a fossicker? It's an interesting word. Or a collector of things. There is much to be found lying around in this here stalactite cavern. A collector, huh? That sounds interesting. The things... the things on this shelf, are they some of the stuff you found? You mean the fossils? They're one of the things I collect. Feel free to have a look at them. But to find out Bart actually has a pretty decent set of interests. Anyways, if you guys needed proof that I might be getting a cold. His name is Bart. That's true. Very true. Round here, you can dig up ancient machines along with human and animal fossils. Notice anything particular on these shelves? They go from oldest on the left to newest on the right. Wow, this one here has still skin on it. Are you an archaeologist or something, old man? I don't quite see what you're talking about. They just look like a bunch of old bones to me. Faye, what do you think? Let me see. First, there are no human bones up to here. Then from here on over to the right, something is slightly different, I guess. Yes, from a certain point in time, human fossils suddenly no longer appear. That point is roughly, give or take, 10,000 years ago. Well, what does that mean? Don't ask me. I'm not entirely sure. But if I had to guess, there were no humans on this planet before then. At least, as it would appear. Well, how could that be? What about all the talk about evolution? You mean the theory of evolution as taught by the ethos, right? You can't trust that. Rather, I believe in the old legends and myths. Legends? Myths? Haven't you heard of this story? They say that humans and God lived together in a paradise in the sky. With God's protection, there was no fear of death, and natural disasters were entirely unknown. So this is kind of referencing the opening cutscene, I assume, right? So like a bit of speculation to toss in real quick. They mention, or the opening cutscene basically showed them leaving on like escape pods, some of them being blown up as they left, and then eventually them self-destructing a giant ship. Yeah, because I think it's kind of I think there's supposed to be like a bit of a revelation that's going on here, based on the opening cutscene. If I had to guess, I'm clearly only speculating, but I don't know. I'm interested to see where that goes though, because like if I had to like draw some conclusions. Obviously we're like 6, maybe 7 hours deep in the game right now. You know, if I had to make any guesses on some conclusions, the opening cutscene is from 10,000 years ago, give or take, right? I could be wrong on that. And maybe humans were trying to live in the stars, so on their space stations, or they were in transit when all hell broke loose. If I know anything about the overarching time series line, whatever you want to call it, of the Xeno games, which I don't know much of, by the way, and I've been told that the creators have been pretty adamant about them not actually being connected at all, except for the ones that are obviously connected. You know, Xenoblade 1 and 2, so on and so forth. But I can't remember who. We had some viewers around the time of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 that mentioned some cool theories on how things might be interchanged. I don't think Xenogears ever got brought up. But if I wanted to draw conclusions, I know where I would start. But either way, yeah, so I don't know. I'm curious about all that, though. And one day, the humans ate a forbidden fruit, which gave them incredible wisdom. But God drove mankind from the paradise for their sin. Bitter at having been driven out of paradise, humans used the wisdom they had gained to make giants. It almost sounds like they're kind of like splitting. I'm curious. Okay. No, how they're like all connected, like Gears, Saga, X, 1 and 2 for Xenoblade. I think I'm trying to remember how it was phrased. I think the idea was that like the events of Xenogears directly led into the events of Xenoblade 2, or something akin to that. I forget how it was worded. Obviously, I haven't played the game, so I don't exactly understand or know how you could draw any of those conclusions. But I think it was something like that. But obviously, I mean, the devs, the creators have all said that that's not the case. But I don't know. There was a time when the people behind Zelda were like, and then they're like, you know what? Zelda timeline, bitches. So I mean, they could always change their minds, but whatever, it doesn't matter too much. These giants, they planned to challenge God himself, but God poured his wrath down on them. All who defiled God were destroyed, but God himself did not escape unharmed. Taking paradise with him, the wounded God buried himself deep beneath the ocean to sleep for aeons. Before going to sleep, God used his remaining power to create right-hearted humans to live on this planet. I think that could have been worded a bit differently. They probably didn't want to say pure-hearted for the sake of, like, not trying to make things be a little too, like, static. So right-hearted was their way of saying, like, oh, they mean the right thing, they're doing the right thing, but they're still prone to, you know, being skewed in different directions for different things and so on and so forth. I guess that's honestly an interesting way of, like, drawing nuance out of something. But, yeah, either way. These people are said to be our ancestors. Oh, anyway, I'll stop my rambling now. Yeah, exactly. I think in a lot of cases it does make some sense, but I think it's one of those moments where, like, some of the games were definitely planned to be connected, while others weren't. And so it's kind of easy to, like, look at certain aspects and be like, oh my god, look at how much sense this makes. And then to easily gloss over the parts where it doesn't make so much sense. Like a good low-hanging example is Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and Twilight Princess. It's pretty much confirmed in the games themselves that all three of those games are connected, right? I mean, obviously, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask are, right? But then Twilight Princess has a lot of references back to Majora's Mask and so on and so forth. And so it's a pretty easy part of the timeline to point to and be like, look, they knew all along. But then you look to things like Four Swords didn't really need to be placed anywhere in the timeline, realistically. Breath of the Wild is very clearly so far removed, and there's no way they meant for it to necessarily matter in the timeline in the grand scheme of things. I mean, I still like it. I think it's a cool, like, idea, regardless of fan or otherwise, right? I think it's just one of those moments that, like, I don't know. I've always been a fan of really long-running things, especially when they're planned to be long-running. Obviously, Zelda probably wasn't. Or most definitely probably wasn't. I mean, a better way of phrasing it, you know. Some of those games definitely do not fit on the timeline and where they are placed. So, if you need any proof, I guess. Yeah. One game at a time, and I think that's fun. I don't know. I've always had this, like, fascination, and for clarification's sake, I'm not talking like One Piece. One Piece is like a story that's been dragged on way too long at this point. That has its, interesting moments and so on and so forth. But I'm trying to think of, like, a really good. I guess I guess a really good example would be something akin to, like, Lord of the Rings. Like all the different little stories that take place in Middle Earth, and use it as a setting are really cool. I guess Zelda's a little different from that because it's less so that it's using the same setting. I mean, it's supposed to be the same setting at the very least, but it's more akin to using the same protagonists and antagonists, with slight alterations each time. And obviously mechanics and gameplay stuff are different, but, like, story-wise, right? I don't know. I've always kind of liked that aspect, though. It's like taking something and then creating kind of like this It's monolithic. No, sorry. All right, funny joke. But I'm trying to think. There's a word for this. I can't think of it off the bat, or like a way to explain this. But having basically like a long stretch, I guess, of of games that just kind of like take place in like a singular idea. Oh, you know, I guess another one that I didn't even think about, the Trails games, the Trails of Cold Steel, Trails in the Sky, you know, so on and so forth. I think there's even a couple other series in there too that all take place in like the same world but in different parts of it at different periods, and I kind of like that. Although I've actually been told that apparently that's how Fire Emblem is too, but I don't know how true that is. I've only ever played Three Houses, so I have no idea if that's if that's the truth or the case. But yeah, so I don't know. Can't see if yeah, I was gonna say like I've looked at like I've seen and I've played a few games. Three Houses is the only one that I've actually like played all the way through and owned myself. Um, and I can say that even with what little I've been exposed to, I can't see it either. I mean, I'm sure there's a chunk of games that that's the case for. I almost every series of games, Final Fantasy included, right, has its sequels and its prequels. Um, like that those will always exist in some form, right? But I'm sure in the grand scheme that's not the case. But I don't know. Maybe there is something there. I'd never know. But yeah, that's how that was my feeling on the matter. But yeah, honestly though, regardless of all that stuff, I just want good storytelling. So if this game, even if it doesn't end up being a direct connection to like Saga X or so on and so forth, nah, it's probably not going to be too bad. I'm kind of interested though in this like religious angle they're taking. I think GTA actually poised me on that, although I can't remember entirely. It seems familiar to me. The moment I saw it, I'm like, wait a minute, didn't GTA say something about this? But because on one hand, no, for the record, I am not a very religious person. Never really have been. Um, so I'm not entirely familiar with probably most things religious, but even more specifically like Christian stuff. Um, but it almost sounded like he had split the symbolism there a little bit, or the symbolism. Maybe that's the wrong word. The I mean, I'm assuming they're not going for a 1-to-1 ratio, but it felt like they were kind of using the same elements, but then they split them. Or maybe I read that wrong. I don't know. Something like that. It intrigued me though. I was like, wonder where that's gonna go, or if it's even gonna be true. For that matter, that opening cutscene could literally be our origin story, at least for as far as the game is concerned, right? Um, and all the other things are just shit that's been either lost or skewed through history. That could be really cool too. I like games and stories where they aren't afraid of religion, politics, etc. Set in that world. Like Fullmetal Alchemist did such a good job with it. Holy shit. Yeah, me too. Honestly, it's one of those moments where like, when Final Fantasy 14, and I won't spoil anything for anyone, but there's actually a moment in 14 where they tackled that kind of stuff, and I was like, whoa, I didn't expect this out of 14 at all. Like I figured we'd have like some political intrigue maybe at a point. Um, but you know, it's one of those moments where like it's an MMO. You figured most of the story elements are gonna go like beat to beat and not really dwell on anything too hard. And I mean, in the grand scheme of things, 14 kind of does still play out that way. Um, there's not a whole lot of like RPG stretch. Um, like you know, you're not going like 20, 30 hours wondering what's about to happen in the next big, point. It is still very much beat to beat. They just do it really well. I'll give 14 that. I mean, not that I would ever try to take anything away from Final Fantasy 14, but it feels more real and relatable. Yeah, exactly. I think on one hand, it is very hard to write a story that wraps itself too deeply in that stuff. But I think that the inclusion of it is just very real. Can you like imagine, if you will, for like on a story writing premise, right? You're writing a world. You got this premise. Hero has to save the princess from the big bad evil wizard, right? It's something super simple. You've seen it everywhere before. Um, but in the midst of this struggle, right? He finds out the wizard isn't this monolithic, haha, that's the word that's stuck in victim's head if you couldn't guess. um is prolific um wizard dude, but he's a like the leader of another country, and maybe he didn't kidnap the princess, but instead it was an old political hostage. Turns out it's his daughter, and this was all one big ruse for a power grab by the country that hired you in the first place, or something, right? Like, I just turned something that I just made in 5 fucking seconds from being like super one note to all of a sudden having an extra layer, just by adding in like a couple political bits. It's like boom, interesting, right? Well, I mean, still very basic what I said, but it's one of those moments where like, yeah, you should never be shut away from. Now, I can understand, let's say you're making like a real world game, like it takes place on Earth in the modern times, or even in the future by a short bit, um, or even at a historical period. Maybe you might shy away from it just because, like, I don't know, you don't want to like alienate anybody or whatever. But like fantasy world, nah, fucking lean right into that shit. There's so much shit there that makes stories cool and interesting. Do it. Fuck, man. Magi is a great example of this, actually. They lean into a lot of things that, honestly, in some forms, I thought was very brave of them. I was like, whoa, okay. I remember looking at the Mage Society and them being like, I was like, wow, that is not where I expected that to go. What the hell? I won't elaborate too far for spoiler reasons, but I didn't like it when I was younger. I suppose that's a fair point. It's funny because I've always liked that aspect. Um, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, SJ, I'm definitely the outlier. You're right. I've talked about it before. Me and some friends, we used to play a Minecraft server called HeroCraft. That was, to give it credit where credit's due, it was a pretty big server, and it had a pretty decent mod that it was wrapped around to make it more like an MMO. But one of the cooler elements of it early on, at the very least, it boiled down, and I'll explain why it boiled down in a second, was the political side of things. It was like we had a town, we had a kingdom, we had to spend a lot of time and resources building it, and we had like hundreds and hundreds of players that helped us do it. Or in some cases, sometimes it was like a couple hundred, but you know what I mean, depending on like the server population and whatever it was at the time. Um, and that was really cool. It was really fun. It was really interesting, even though most of it meant literally fuck all. And then it did eventually boil down to being very little, very minor bits, because again, as Minecraft aged, oh my bossa. Yeah. But yeah, no, it ended up boiling down though because newer and younger people started coming in, and that's kind of how Minecraft worked. It started out with like it being like this weird, like in like the dev build days, being like really very few young people were playing it. Um, but then like as Minecraft aged down as it got older, the demographic got smaller. And so you started seeing less and less of that kind of stuff on the bigger servers. It just stopped mattering. Servers started having to dumb themselves down. I even know servers that started allowing things that were considered like hacking at the time. They started allowing it because the newer kid players didn't know how to play without their hack mods. It's like, god damn, dude, Minecraft really went down like hard in a lot of ways. Um, anyways, I didn't mean to get the tangent on that too hard, but yeah, I was thinking about that when you said it was alienating younger people. I was like, yeah, you know what? That makes a little bit of sense. Because at first I was like, oh, no, when I was younger, I loved it. I'm like, wait a minute. I might have. But I definitely know a large group of young people who definitely didn't. And I was thinking about it too. I mentioned I've been playing New World off stream. And nobody really cares to even like engage in that anymore. You know, we got all these different factions. They all have their different bases, and we can own territory with them. And then everyone's just like relegating, and honestly, I guess there's a little bit there, but it's like not in the way you'd expect, I guess. But still, don't enjoy series like that at all. Yeah, that's fair. More like ooh, beating crap up. You know what? No matter how much nuance I love in a story, there's still a place in my heart for beating crap up. Brother enemy. You know, it's don't let Dylan hear me say this because there's way too much to watch at this point, and I know I'll never get through it all. But I think that might have been one of the reasons why I didn't like Gundam when I was growing up. I looked at Gundam, and on one hand, you know what, it might seem weird, like Victim, you're playing Xenogears. The fuck are you talking about? But mecha was never really my thing. I mentioned this last time, but just to reiterate for people, it's not that I hate mecha. I think giant robots are fucking cool. Um, I just never really cared about it any more than I did like watching people fight, like trying to like a shonen battle or whatever. Right? Like I never really like cared about the differences too much, and I think Gundam kind of killed it for me because I didn't really like the drama side of Gundam at all. I was like, why? Like I think every time I tuned into it, like whenever it was like randomly on TV and I'd tune in, it was just a bunch of people like whining and screaming at each other. And I'm like, where's the big mechs fighting? What is this? This is not what I was told. But obviously that's just, you know, skewed interaction. It's not entirely Gundam's fault. Um, Although I've been told there's a few seasons of Gundam that are fucking horrible, but besides the point, you know, might just be unlucky on my part. I suppose I'm willing to admit that. That was a lot of winning. Maybe I'm not sure. But on that note, Brotherhood is very fond for me in my heart. I hated it so much. There's people who look at Brotherhood now and they're like, "Hey, it's number one on my animal list." All right, fuck brain, stop. We can speak. We know English. Um, my anime list, anyways, and people will shit on it because I'm like, oh, it's overrated. It's like, no, no, no. I don't. You know what? I never. I drew this opinion about Brotherhood, and I'll give you my like cliff notes of my opinion on Brotherhood, just to prove to you guys. I developed this opinion of my own volition, and nobody else told me to like it, and then I liked it. I watched the original before Brotherhood even existed, all the way through when I was like, fuck, early middle school. I think I can't remember exactly when. I was young, anyways. Um, and I loved it. The World War aspects that came in. I've always been really interested in the World Wars. Speaking of which, today's Remembrance Day in Canada. That's kind of funny. Funny that we're mentioning that now. Um, I had family that took part in the World Wars. So a lot of familial interest in that too. So it's just like it was totally up my alley. Fucking loved it. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. I think you guys have another day as well, don't you? Um, was it Memorial Day? I want to say. I actually don't know what it's called offhand, but so I always get all that mixed up. Oh, okay, it is Memorial. But yeah, so it's just funny though, right? It's like, oh hey, no, So yeah, no, and so on that hand, I was like, wow, I like this. I like Full Metal Alchemist a lot. And then Brotherhood comes out. I'm like, oh, it's the full package. I'm like, yeah, I'm down for that. I love the original, right? So I watch it through. As a kid, I was just like, oh my god, Edward and Alphonse beat people up. Oh my god, sad moment. It's like I like that character and I like that character. Blah 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 blah. Just anime kid shit. But when I rewatched it when I was older, just about a year or two ago, um, I I noticed something. Brotherhood has some very glaring flaws, as anything does, right? Like nothing is perfect. This is a fairly well known thing. I preach it to make sure people know that it's a core value of how I look at things. Um, but the first 12 episodes of Brotherhood, I think, are a giant stain on the series, in a way. Obviously, it's forgivable because again, they were trying to skip past stuff that you would have already experienced in Fullmetal Alchemist. That's already great, and honestly, a lot of people still believe that watching Fullmetal Alchemist is the original, for that matter, is still a decent thing you can do. It's not a horrible thing to do. Even though I would argue that I would just start with Brotherhood. It's better to just get the full fucking experience instead of like watching, to the halfway point and then resetting. I don't know. Something that always bothered me personally. So I don't know. To each their own at that point. But but yeah, no, like there's a lot of things in it that just don't make sense. Like, there's a moment where like cars pull up to a scene and everyone's out ready with their guns drawn, ready to like save the day, but you don't hear the cars pull up. You don't hear anyone open or shut any doors. Nobody notices them, for that matter. Um, so it's just like it's a very stupid scene. But again, it was rushed. It was supposed to be rushed. It was supposed to be a scene that was rushed because they're just trying to get to a point. They're just trying to get through shit you already know, and they don't give a shit about it. It's already established. You're basically just watching the first 12 episodes as a pseudo recap, right? Yeah. Um. But yeah, I don't know. I think like episode 13 and on though for Brotherhood, fucking great. Probably some of the best stuff I've watched. But I think it's just because it doesn't ever betray itself. It sets a lot of guidelines and a lot of rules, and it never strays from them. And I think most of the time, that's like a golden rule of writing. If you establish some things, you should stick to them. There's nothing wrong with breaking your set rules, as long as they break in realistically or believable ways. But anything new you establish has to be the truth. If you just keep breaking and bending all of your rules of your world or whatever, then it just becomes a wishy-washy, you know, well, if, to put it blunt, it just becomes bullshit. I'm looking at you, light novels. Sorry. I became a big deal, like bigger than Naruto. Negates everything the characters together. Yeah, honestly. But yeah, I think that's probably one of the bigger like issues with the original, for certain. Um, Even though I guess without diving too deep into it, I suppose there is still a semblance of that in Brotherhood. Um, but I think it definitely hits on a much lighter note to a point that it still isn't far fetched. It's kind of one of those aha moments and acting on the fly without giving a character too much time to really like think something through. Which I think is honestly, if you're gonna make a character portray the way that they think or do things, make it be a knee-jerk reaction. Something that if they were to think back on, a day later, they'd be like, "Wow, what the fuck was I thinking?" Probably the only way you're ever going to get away with that, with 100% of the time. Yeah, but I agree with you. Ugh. That coffee needs to kick in. I don't know why I feel so tired. It might just because I think I might be catching a cold. I think that's literally all it is. So, and just be have something I'll have to push through. It's fine. 'Tis the season, right? Yeah. Anyways, though, storytelling, it's great. It's good until it isn't. Disguises intelligence. They're good. Yeah, no, that's honestly. I never really thought about that. In all fairness, but thinking back on it, you're right. You're very right. Um, but I suppose that just also just goes to show that they probably didn't have a whole lot of time to figure out what they were going to do, so they just went with whatever came within a like timely fashion. All right, where were we though? By the way, does this cave have an exit? There is an exit in the excavation site beyond the sand barrier. You can get outside through there. Sand barrier? You mean that huge wall you can see from the entrance? From your entrance? Yes, that's it. On the other side of an old Ava excavation site. They built the wall when Ava was excavating here to keep the sand from falling in from above. But they've stopped work there now. So, how do we open such a huge thing like that? But even more heinous. I guess that's fair. I suppose you could argue the movie kind of further cements that too. Or the first movie. I guess there's technically a second movie now. Um, don't know why they decided to do that. That was a weird take, and I never watched it because I always thought that was the weirdest fucking thing on the planet. Like, so I might be wrong on this, and I'm willing to be corrected on it because it would make a lot more sense if someone were to correct me on it. But the original series of Fullmetal Alchemist, when Brotherhood I think was finishing its run, I want to say when it was like finishing its run, they released a Fullmetal Alchemist movie, but it wasn't for Brotherhood. It was for the original. It's like something of Shambhala, I think, is what it was called. And I was like, why? I literally remember thinking to myself, like, I don't know. I'm watching Brotherhood, man. I'm in the Brotherhood mood, not the original mood. I don't want to watch this movie. Yeah. Well, if it's a wall, you could probably break it down. Hold your horses there, young'uns. No matter how good a gear you have, you'll never break down that wall. It's much too strong. So, how about we make a deal? A deal? Yes. The wall was closed due to the reaction of the sand sensors. Sensors? Whatever. Thanks to that, now I can't get through to the other side either. Maybe it happened when the two of you fell in here. Were you boys fighting up there or something? You seem to be able to tell everything. Anyway, so what can we do about it? It's very simple. You just have to turn off the sand sensor switches. We already found one earlier, so I know what we're doing. Woo! Oh, yeah, I suppose that's a good point. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, you're right on that. Because what there was like the entire foreshadowing to the suits of armor was entirely ripped out. Mind you, that moment didn't exist in the original either, but still. So they kind of like traded moment for moment if you if you think about it. But but I guess that kind of goes back to what I was talking about, right? Like the first 12 episodes of Brotherhood were entirely 110% rushed. And honestly, for a good reason, I'll admit, but still, they're very, very rushed. Yeah. Doing that will keep the barrier from closing again. Well, you two are doing that. I'll open it up. Right, got it. The sensors are in two places. You should see their flashing red lights. Well, good luck then. Alright, let's go, Bart. Oh, and before you go, I can share some parts and fuel with you. Just talk to me whenever you need something, alright? Hmm. Well, thanks, old man. Well, we'll go and finish our part of the deal then. I suppose we should heal up then. Ooh. Oh. Whoa. Wee wah. What is this? I don't even know. At first I was like, oh, this looks cool. Oh yeah, that's like pocket change. Okay, so that's what we have equipped, right? What does this even do, though? Oh, I see, at the top. Okay, my brain fried. Don't worry about me. Beyond these hands. Fair. Even with the rest beginning. No, exactly. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I watched it 3 times. So I watched it, when it was airing, and then I watched it once alone when I was older, and then I watched it a third time with my little brother. Um, and I did not regret it the entire time. I enjoyed it all 3 times, and I very rarely enjoy watching something a second time. Like very very rarely. I'm not really big on reconsuming things. Um, okay, well this is an upgrade, so we might as well do it, right? Yeah. We lose whatever our response is if we get rid of the old circuit. I don't know. All right. Prevents camera damage. Oh. All right. Do my due diligence to see if there's anything to steal in the old man's house. As an RPG player does. Oh, just dust floating in front of my face. I was like, what the fuck? All right. So I don't think it really matters where we go from here. 'Cause both ways lead into each other. All right, sir. They don't. It doesn't look like it does. What the fuck is that? Oh god, I don't have any fire. JRPGs and their weird enemy types. Thing is tanky. There we go. I'm assuming that's just like a rare monster? Alright. I'm assuming we have to backtrack now. Or, well, backtrack, I mean, go the way we came. Words. Holy shit. Oh no, this thing. Well, at least we can run away from it pretty quickly. I wonder if all characters are gonna get their own mechs. That's probably how that will play out, I'm assuming. Which means it will probably get a more ability focused, or an ether machine focused, however that character before long, which would probably end up being Ellie. Nice. Pretty long corridor. What? Okay, new enemies. They're like cave jellyfish. Okay, they're reasonable. I'm gonna find out very soon that this is the wrong way you watch. But we were pretty thorough earlier. If I had missed it, it must have been in like a corner somewhere. Suppose we could always jump down too. Oh no, that's right ahead of us. Oh, come to think of it, we did see this earlier. I remember I saw this, but I thought it was something else. I never really thought about it. It would probably be much faster to just go this way. I think. I don't recall this path being as long. Gotta try and kill them before they hit us with that flash ability. Well, I think we only needed to do 2, I think. Or I think there was only 2, more specifically. I don't know. Old Man Ball will tell us. Oh, good timing. I was just about to open up the sand barrier now. Well done, old man. Ah, deal is done. Hey, old man. There's one thing I want to ask you. Oh, yes? I've heard somewhere on this planet is a gear far superior to all others. I've heard that it was called the God Gear, and was made in ancient times, but hidden away somewhere. Do you know anything about it? A man-made god, created with the wisdom of God. Such a gear would have the power of 1,000 gears. In a wave of its arm, it could probably destroy entire cities. Its battle cries with thunder in the heavens. You must be speaking of the Omni Gear. Oh, you know of it. Then perhaps it was what, and perhaps it was what you were speaking about in that tale you told us of the battle with God. Oh, goodness gracious, you too, boy. Those stories are made to inspire man's soul, but they're just legends. They don't really exist. Anyway, allow me to take a look at your gears. It'll only take a little while, so please wait here. Hey, wait. He's gone. Hey, Bart. Do you think the gear in that story is buried in the ground somewhere? Well, I think that's what I've heard. Could one of the gears we're using possibly be it? Yeah, right. What are the chances of that happening? I mean, honestly, pretty good if everything's being if everything's being excavated. Just sitting there staring at your A plus, like I could do better. The gears that are excavated lately are usually only a few hundred years old. Nowhere nearly as old as the gear in that legend. Then why were they in the ground? I don't know. There are no records except. Except what? There must be some truth in the tales that were buried after a great war. And the bullet wounds covering most of the gear's armor would appear to confirm that, no? You mean that there are no records from the last several hundred years? How about before that? Well, I suppose none from either period. The ethos control all of the records from that time period. Maybe they have some very ancient records, too. All we know about our history is from the little pieces that we find for ourselves. Anyway, Faye, what do you make of that old man? What do you mean? Well, why would such an old man live all alone in this abandoned cave? I don't know. Probably digging for ancient gears or something. Right, there you go. So you think so too? Hey, I just said that as a joke. Don't take all that stuff seriously. They're only legends, you know. No, that old man. He's up to something. This can't be. Huh? You have the Omni Gear! See, Bart, I told. What's wrong, old man? Is this your gear? Sort of. Where did you get it? I'm just borrowing it. This is the host for the spirit of the slayer of. Wait a moment. What did you just say? I didn't realize it was going to auto scroll me. Rip. Oh, nothing. I didn't say anything. No, I heard you. You said Slayer of God. Okay, it was Slayer of God. That's what he said. Okay. That's what you said, isn't it, old man? And your gears are fixed. You have no more business here. This is a bad time for me. Be on your way. Be on our way. Listen here, old man. Uh-oh. He booted us out. That's rude. Or just walk back in. When Calamity beats you, I'll just get these parts back anyway. We never did check his shop for characters. Oh, it's just... Okay. Wait, why is it so cheap? The fly mech? Yeah, I did. The Mayfly or whatever. Stores HP and EP to full. Yeah, we're gonna buy some. Instead of combat only. Oh, that makes sense. I mean, that's still pretty big. But, yeah, I'll take that. Maybe buy a couple tents. I don't know how useful tents are in this one. I know in other games where they, other JRPGs that have used tent systems tend to be pretty busted. So, we'll hang on to a few just in case. Yeah. Fair point. Oh, I suppose that's a fair point. They are realistically doing the same thing. Although, I suppose if you had a party of 4 people or more, tents are a bit more cost-effective. At the moment, they are not. They're a whole 50 gold more expensive. Can only use tents. That's it. Oh, you can only use them at save points. Oh, that's gross. Never mind. I take everything back. Jeez. Luca and the Hun? Yes, I did. So my mod and friend GTA, he's the guy who suggested I play Xenogears. I'll say suggested. I'll play nice. But when I first booted up the game, he's like, "Oh, you should look around for look around Lahan for Luca." So we did that. Oh, hey, it's the fly mech again. That we can take it on. Yeah. I like Easter eggs and little things like that. I'm sad that I feel like in recent times Easter eggs have become like less and less frequent. Cause like I don't know, like I'd say like thinking back to things like Halo is just packed full of them. And games of that era were just like big on them, super big on them. So it's nice. It's nice playing retro games and getting to experience like Easter eggs and stuff. Favorite party member? Ouch. Yeah, I'm enjoying Xenogears so far. I think whenever a game decides to do something a bit more interesting with its combat system, especially in the turn-based sense, it's always interesting to me. Because there is nothing more annoying than menuing to the same thing over and over and over. And I suppose that's kind of how all JRPGs play out at first too. Like that, like early game JRPGs, that's entirely all it is. But yeah, I hated the first game that comes to mind for that is Final Fantasy VII. But hey, you know what? Seven's story carried it for me, so I'm willing to admit that a little bit. I'm also willing to give it a bit of a pass, considering it is also the first of its. It was pretty much the first of its kind back in the day. So. Oh, he's on his. Ouch. There we go. Honestly, I should just run from these things. They take forever to kill. But I'll take my free money in EXP. Free that I had to work for, but you know. No, that's alright. That might be worth doing. No. Okay, the game did not catch me saying no the first time, I guess. So we could probably jump down. I guess we'll try the gondola. Huh. Said it was neat. I suppose I guess that is definitely true too. There's a lot of Seven story that is very finicky to get through. But I think overall it pays off really well. Ava excavation site main power generator. It's actually one of the reasons why I've been putting it off playing 7 Remake. I'll eventually get to it, even though I realize it's not entirely a remake in the traditional sense. But I'm interested to get through it and see exactly. Currently, main power is off. Turn on the main power. I sure would love to do that. I think we need to do that in order to get down the elevator, which we probably could have just jumped down, but I was afraid to do that. Or better. I think... I don't know, I feel like it's one of those moments where, like, I know a lot of people really don't like, when... especially older, more, like, nostalgic things get changed. But you know what? Final Fantasy VII, the original, isn't going anywhere. So, I mean, it'd be one thing if they did, like, what is it? I think the most recent one is the Grand Theft Auto remix, a good example, or remasters, whatever you want to call them. They are removing the originals from their storefronts, so you won't be able to get them anymore. So if anybody wanted to go experience the originals for whatever might have been changed or altered, or even just to experience the shittier graphics, you know, some people are really into that, you know. They're removing the older, crappier versions. But instead, one of the things Final Fantasy VII did, you know, the entire opposite direction, they released the original on Steam before the remake came out. So it's like, yo, both of these games still exist. You can play both. They're both there. Better design-wise than the other ones. Yeah, you know, at first when I was looking at them, they looked okay. Like in the trailer, I thought they looked okay. But then when the gameplay, I think there was a gameplay demo that came out not too long ago for one of them. I forget which one it was now. Maybe San Andreas, but I can't remember. And it doesn't look that good. In motion, it looks kind of eh. Not like they were ever being marketed to me anyways. I was never really that big of a fan of the games. I mostly like playing 4 online just because you could mess around with friends. But I ultimately was never really a huge fan of the games. Oh. Good old camera angles. Yeah, I guess being long-winded, yeah, I'm perfectly fine with what they did with Final Fantasy VII Remake. Because actually, funny enough, one of my more beloved series of games that I'll be probably talking about at length for a while because Elden Ring looks fucking amazing. But when they released the remaster for Dark Souls 1, they removed the original from storefronts, which was a horrible idea. Like, why would you do that? Like, sure, you know, you could argue that maybe it's a waste to buy the original, purely from, you know, Bandai's point of view. But us as consumers know that that's not entirely true. You know, what if your friend's playing or the original and doesn't want to buy the remake? Well, your friend who, you know, is buying the game in 2021 can't do that anymore. I think they might have reverted it, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, there was just some issues. Obviously, then the other side of it, the one side of it that Bandai really doesn't give a shit about is the modding community. It's actually, I think nowadays it's actually much easier to mod the remastered version of Dark Souls. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a modder, but I've heard there's some new tools that exist that make it a little easier, but or something akin to that. Did I just save? I meant to save, but I can't remember if I did. I don't think I did, actually. All right. I know better than to trust my emulator. Save it every chance I get. Didn't pay attention to the interviews that were beforehand. Yeah, I think that's another thing too. I mean, keep in mind, I'm fine with that aspect because I mean, most people don't dive too deep into like stuff like that, like interviews and whatever. Even just for the sake of maybe like avoiding, you know, even the most minor spoilers. I like to think that I do it more out of laziness. Unless it's something I'm really into, like Elden Ring, I guess is a you know, kind of a recently mentioned example. I can't get enough of it. I'm afraid at how much I've been consuming because I'm afraid I'm genuinely going to spoil myself on something that I will inevitably care about but I just can't. I can't hold myself back. But no, actually, surprisingly enough, though, I mean, I know there's definitely people out there that are, yeah, that's their thing. They're mad about that. But I feel like most people that I've met that are like fans of Final Fantasy VII haven't been entirely annoyed by a remake, and even some that have enjoyed it quite a bit, which is a breath of fresh air. Over the years, I've had a lot of friends that were definitely the kind of people that would like, you know, how dare they change my beloved X, insert X here. You know, so it's nice that in my adult years I don't have so many friends that are like that anymore. I don't like the move naturally on that. See, on one hand, it's definitely 100% bias on my part that I am entirely fine with that, but that's just because I've always preferred action combat to turn-based. And I get that. I'm willing to admit that entirely, kind of deal. But I think that if they were to maybe still continue to do a bit of both, it would probably be the right answer. Because I agree, it's kind of stupid to be alienating consumer bases. Because there's definitely can that thing be any louder? Jesus. Sorry. You want to go? He wants to go. Alright, cool. They're definitely alienating a portion of their consumer base by doing that, though. Which I don't think is the right choice, even if it's the smaller section. I mean, I don't know if it is, but I mean, just like, you know, assuming for a moment if it were. I still think it's... Bap. Okay, you take small amounts of damage, but you still take damage. This thing's called Calamity. Didn't the old man mention something about Calamity? I didn't think he was talking about a fucking gear. But, alright. Actually, why don't we hit him with the Wild Smile and see how that goes? Not as good as Hedgehog, I guess. I suppose it's a fair point. I mean, 15's combat, for as much as I actually kind of like 15's combat, mostly just because, you know, teleporty sword goes whoosh kind of deal. You know, one of those shut your brains off, and it's okay. But obviously, it's one of those moments where, like, it's very, very, very simple, very, very basic combat. I guess it had some moments of, like, things that were kind of in depth but were never necessary, and I think that's an issue. It's like if you're gonna make portions of your combat be optional, why bother? I guess at that point. Yeah, I think it's one of those moments of like, there's really no reason for them to be half-assing it. It's like, you can't Hello? That's my health pool you're attacking there? Do you mind? Yeah, there's no reason. If they want to do away and move away from turn-based, they should just man up and do it. Stop trying to, like, mix the two for some reason. Because, yeah, you're right, like, it wasn't as, like, a big a thing in 15, but, you know, the magic stuff was all menuing. There was no hotkeys for potions that I can recall, at least. And then in Remake, I know that they had that system that they were trying to like make it like a pseudo turn-based system. Which at first I thought sounded really cool, but then I, thought to myself, I'm like, you know what, that probably sounds really fucking frustrating to like play around sometimes. And again, if they made it optional, it's like, well, why even bother including it in the first place then? Yeah, actually, I think 16 is going to be probably one of the more promising Final Fantasies to come out in a while. And I know that that's like one of those weird things. Like, I know a lot of people lately have been like on the single player Final Fantasy. I don't want to say hate train, but like, a lot of people have a lot of bad things to say about 15. Rightfully so. 15 released horribly. For as much as I fucking loved it, it's one of those games that like it's definitely a guilty pleasure of mine. Mostly because Arden was probably one of my favorite Final Fantasy villains of like all time, but yeah, especially with Yoshi P being a director of 16, I think 16 has a lot of potential to kind of come out and be something. I mean, like, I don't know if you played the demo for the remake of 1. I think it was called Stranger of Paradise, I think. That was like a nightmare. I know a lot of people loved it, but I feel like it was so rough. Such a rough setup of a combat system. That I remember looking at it and thinking, like, at any point in time, I could set this down and play any other action RPG and get way more entertainment out of it. I could set it down and play Tenchu 1, one of the most clunky tank control action games of all time, and probably get more enjoyment out of it. Which is one of those moments where, like, I shouldn't feel like that. Like, we live at a point where, like, there are so many examples, so many things to draw inspiration from. You really shouldn't be making a game, especially if you got the money to make a game like Square would, to really do that. I don't know, that bothered me. We actually sat here and kind of like ragged on the game the entire time because it's just, man, I don't know. He made sure I would. Oh, fair. I heard a lot of bad things about 13. I didn't. It's one of the ones I haven't played yet. I want to play it one day to draw my own conclusion, but it definitely doesn't look. I've seen some things that make me think that it's definitely probably gonna share the opinion. I don't know how long the Wild Small will last. It doesn't really say, so I guess we'll try it again. Yeah, 2 sequels, fair. Goodbye, health pool. I hardly knew ye. Oh yeah, I love it. Ten turns? Okay, that's good. You know what I need? I need a scan ability. That's what I need. Alright. I was trying to think if I had other options. I really don't at this moment. But I can think of at least. like 10. I don't know. I think 10's one of the Final Fantasies I enjoyed. I know I've heard both ways for certain, and I don't know. I think one of the things about 10 that I really liked was that it was the first time I had played a JRPG where I genuinely felt like they tried to make every character useful in their own way. They fell really short on things like Kimari and what's his name? Titus. Both of them were not done so well. You can pretty much run the rest of the characters and defeat everything else instead. But Titus, it's hard for me to say because I used to make fun of him and call him tight ass. So that's where my brain goes every time. 12 was different. I ultimately think I enjoyed it, but the issue with 12 was that it was very clearly rushed. And instead of just pushing something that sucked, they just cut it very short, is what it felt like. And they didn't give the antagonists any screen time, so there was really no reason to like or hate them. It was just like, why? It felt really bad. I was like these villains look like they could be really interesting. Like they had a backstory and a premise that was like, okay, I can get behind that. And then they just did nothing with it. It's like, oh okay. Thanks, Final Fantasy 12. Oh, he's finally attacking Bart. See, Bart still had a health pool. What is boosted? I'm gonna try it. Yeah. Did we... Oh, we're good. We're not good, but we had to go through the attack thing. Alright, Mr. Calamity, you can go down at any moment. Anima. Ooh, it doesn't matter what we do, so we'll do that. So the booster seems to be like deleting fuel from me over time, so we're on a bit more of a time limit now, it looks like. Goodbye, Bart's HP. He didn't need it. Oops. Shit. That's the wrong one. One per time? Oh, I didn't know. Okay. Ouch. We can take 2 more of those. Never mind, we can take 1 more of those. Actually, no, we still take 2. We don't need either of those. Uh-huh. No, I could have sworn we bought them. I bought the best stuff we could. I think we equipped the new weapon that I got too for Bart. It was like a chain whip or something like that. I think we need to charge. Oh wait, no, he doesn't need to charge. I couldn't remember how far down he was. So the booster was a bad idea, I see. Ouch. Huh. Maybe I didn't buy it? I could have sworn... I might have glossed over it. One of those moments. Yeah, I see it. A GTA, did I skip over it earlier? I know I bought the new frames and stuff. I don't know, maybe I missed it. Or maybe I bought it and it didn't equip? I don't know. That would suck. Autogrips. Yeah, I figured that was the case. No, don't do that. Wrong character. Alright, we're just gonna go for it. Either based. Ah. Alright, Calamity, you can go down at any moment now, man. Yeah, I think I actually need to refresh that now. Soon at the very least. That's when he uses his barrage ability again. He's like, fuck you. Yeah, I called it. Motherfucker. Oh shit, really? Damn. I think we have enough field good. Just... No, we don't have enough to even... Oh, okay, so I guess we just have to charge now. What's our fuel at now? Oh, it's down the... Okay, I see it. Yeah, we're good. Keep trying. You can't... Oh, okay. Goodbye, Mr. Fay. Hey, Maskin. We're playing Xenogears. Or trying to. The game is playing me at the moment. That's alright. Alright. So, does this work on... No, it doesn't. Cool. Awesome. I didn't. Okay, I didn't even do it. So. Not at the moment. I mean, we might. I guess we still could. I have no idea what his HP's at the moment, but. Not normally. Yeah, I think it did 0 damage when I tried it. Unfortunately. Hopefully, we still got this. I mean, if not, we literally just saved, so I'm not too worried about it. But... And we'll just double check some stuff. Come on, game. No, you scumbag. Oh, no. It's all old man balls fall. All right. You know what? I was going easy on him. So now we just gotta show him who's boss. Let's get the W. We'll get it this time. Second time's the charm. Pretty reasonable. Oh shit, we gotta backtrack. Oh, just kidding. The game told me no. New upgrades? Okay. Yeah, I must have just missed them. That's weird, because I went in to buy them when I first got there. He was like, oh, by the way, you can buy parts. I'm like, oh shit, I can buy parts? Cool. Actually, when we come back, we can just travel down to Sue. Let me see. Oh, yeah, we gotta go up the elevator. Okay, I was gonna say, you good, Bart? You gonna get up, or are we stuck? Did I soft lock? Alright, we're good. My mustache is just getting to that point where it's a little too long. I'll have to take care of that. I told myself I would just go clean shaven for a while, and then when I got sick, I didn't shave at all because I couldn't even be fucked to get up to make myself food. So it just grew out again. And I'm like, fuck it. You want us to leave, but we have money. I thought he was mocking us. He's like, well, Calamity's just gonna beat your ass, so like I don't know what you were asking for. Actually, we get that. Weapons, nothing. Oh, I see. I see where I missed this. So when when we first came in here, I saw the 1200, and I was like, oh, 1200. I was like, they're the same thing. I don't need to buy this. But now I see the issue. It's a G6 versus a G4. Whoops. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I know we bought the new frame. And we bought the new armor. Just double checking. Alright. Nope. Nope. I was just leaving. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, cool. I was hoping you'd say that. You know that fair. Yeah, but I'm a big spender. I'm also really big on accidentally grinding. I tend to check every single corner of every single map. I just have a habit of it. I blame Spyro. It's all Spyro's fault. EXPs, man. Yeah, I noticed we're kind of gaining EXP at a rather fast rate. To a point that I bet you if I ever needed any, I could probably just go get it. You dumbass. I will say it is pretty funny to watch the enemies like miss and then fall, or like do something weird, or just be weird in the case of the fly mech. I'm getting money. All right. I need to do more challenge runs in video games. In Dark Souls, I used to do them a fair few. Or I used to do a fair few, sorry. I was supposed to, like, phrase that in two different ways, and I just messed it up. But, yeah. Your stat maxing last character. Oh, I got you. So, question about that then. I mean, I was assuming it was the case just by like looking at it, but does the game kind of handle like? I mean, maybe you're not familiar with Fire Emblem, but does it do like the Fire Emblem kind of way of doing of stat gains? Stat gains are weighted RNG. Oh, okay. So yeah, similar to Fire Emblem then. Or well, I guess I'm actually not entirely certain if Fire Emblems are always weighted. I know in Three Houses they were weighted based on your class, at the very least. But that's good to know. So yeah, it's one of those moments where like level ups are going to be largely a boon if they so choose to be, but not always. Chance of getting this. So it tries to to round everyone out basically. I feel like that's not the right choice to make for that kind of a system, I don't think. But I think it also stops it from being too OP or too shitty at the same time. So it could have been more of like a control method more than anything else. You should. Okay. And Calamity. Round 2, motherfucker. He knows what he did. Oh, we accidentally flanked him. Where'd they go? Alright, so let's see how this goes this time around. Oh, we actually do damage when we attack. Well, with the basic attacks. Oh, I forgot to... Alright, we'll Wild Smile him next time. Ooh, that's damage. That's almost double our damage, yeah. forget who we're saying. Okay. Wait. Yeah, we're good. Ouchie. I was almost certain I was gonna miss, and then it didn't. Oh man, famous. I'd love to be famous. You got that, GTA? I think I might be able to do it. Oh, I got it. Hey. It's harder to do it in my little small window, but. And a miss. Haha. Didn't do that. That's alright. Actually, speaking of which, do we have other combos for the other moves? Maybe not the time to test this out, but eh. I think I can look at them in one of the menus. Ooh, that was some damage. So Bart only has Shane mode, but we have, or Faye has 2. Oh, can you only do that at attack level 2? Huh. Okay, so that is the case. Good to know. Ooh, right in the face. I don't know if it's been 10 turns, but... I guess we'll build up to attack level... No, we won't. We'll just beat his ass. My bad. Huh? Oh, what an idiot. Trying to scare us with all show with no power. Faye? Anyway, it looks like that's the exit. So it'll soon be adios to that old cavern. What the? Ah, PTSD moment coming out. Get out of the way, Bart. Actually, probably a bit more urgency in the way he would have said that. But you know what? It's late. That's alright. Alright, third time's a charm, I guess, technically. It looked like he died that time. Woo! What the hell did you just do? Hey! Oath to Faye! Huh? What? What do you mean, huh? What in the blazes was that? Oh, don't you know? No, I, uh, I don't know. Man, that was incredible. You just blew that huge thing to pieces. Like, several million pieces? That was a lot of them. Why didn't you use that technique a bit earlier? Something, I don't know. I don't know that technique. I have no idea how I even did it. Oh well, I guess it doesn't matter. That's done's done. Anyway, thanks for helping me out. So, now that we've got rid of that nuisance, let's get out of here. Faye? I don't know why I said it like that. In my brain, I thought there was like a pause. Can you tell that I'm not all there? Woo! He was like, Faye, like a let's go, friend. And I did not read it that way. It wasn't until I took a second, I'm like, wait, no, what the fuck? That's not how he would have said that. It's fine. I can't read very well normally. It's a very well-known fact. And being a little under the weather does not help, so. Alright, so where do we head from here? I think it was a dead end over here. Yes, okay. I gotta say, it's something so simple. It's so simple. But being able to jump in a JRPG and it actually fucking matter is amazing. I think I might have mentioned it in the forest last time or last night, but modern games, there's some modern games that don't even give us that level of freedom of movement. And there's some modern games that give us way more than that, I suppose. You know, credit or, you know, play it fair here, but still. Maybe what's that? How often do you jump in real life? I fucking hate that. I jump all the time, alright? It's fun to jump. Like, alright, listen, unless you got a reason or a situation where you can't jump, you know, don't hurt yourself. Or force yourself for whatever reason. But, if you stand up right now, and make sure you're not in somewhere where if you fell back to the ground, you would hit a bunch of things and maybe hurt yourself. But if you just jump, it's like, I don't know, it feels good. It's just like, holy shit, I just left the ground for a second. You're like, hell yeah, bro. My legs are badass. Okay, maybe I might be a little over eccentric about jumping, but still, besides the point, yeah, dude, jumping in real life is amazing. Just the act of jumping. I don't need to jump up to something or across something. I just jump. You know, in most video games, I run around in circles, but if I can also jump, I will jump and run around in circles. Jumping is very underrated. That's all I've got to say. I mean, I play I played a little bit of CS Source in my day. A little, like, legitimately a little bit. I think I have like 200 hours clocked. Not very much. In the grand scheme of how long the game's been out, I mean. Wow, I never thought we'd end up here. Where are we? You see the Twin Mountains? Over there? That's where, Bledevik? Bledevik. I think that's probably Bledevik, maybe? The royal capital of Ava. And Fatima Castle are located. Apparently there's no king living there, though. Anyway, that's my old hometown. Hometown, huh? I'd like to go ahead and settle our dispute, but considering how close we are to the capital of Ava, we'd probably get caught. I'm a pirate, you know. Can't go having that now. Hey, stop looking so glum, chum. I guess I'll have to get you back to your friends soon, or you'll die from fretting or something. Anyway, the rendezvous point with the Yggdrasil is, yes, right over there. Don't worry, you'll be meeting your friend in no time at all. Oh, Faye, I was worried about you. Doc. Welcome to the Sand Cruiser Yggdrasil. We apologize for that earlier incident. I don't apologize at all. Woo! I'm sure everyone already had the courtesy to introduce themselves, right, young master? You did at least tell him your name, right? But allow me to introduce the Sand Pirates' leader, Master Bartholomew. By the way, may I ask, young master? Oh, I'm losing my voice. Young master, did you apologize? Fuck. I don't know why I'm laughing at myself for losing my voice. Did you apologize to Master Faye? What? Yeah. I told him I was wrong, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. He's like, I did apologize, right? Buddy old pal? Just telling someone you were wrong after the event isn't going to solve everything, young master. I'm sorry I've delayed introducing myself. My name is Sigurd, the first mate of this sand cruiser. Well then, please let me know if you need anything. That's the situation. So now, forgive me, will you? Young master. Stay out of mischief. Ah! Ouch! Ah! Come on, man! I didn't quite read what it was, so I ad-libbed a bit there, perhaps. Let us go and wait in our cabin until we arrive. It is well made and comfortable. Definitely better than that prison we stayed in. What is wrong? You look down. No, well... Did something happen? No. Nothing. Alright, I think now is a good time to take a break, as I'm probably going to go an extra half hour than I normally would tonight, so we'll go another hour longer. But it's been 3 hours, almost 3 hours since I went live, and I need to stretch my legs. I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to go jump up and down several times and prove to the world just how fun jumping can be. Oh, wrong button. Shit, I reached over and hit the wrong. You can't jump. Oh, yes, you can. Anyway. But bam. Yeah. We'll say like 5-10ish minutes. And then we will progress. And by progress, I mean probably search all around this place in hopes of free items, which probably don't exist, unfortunately, but what can you do? Alright, I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I'm back. Oh, goddamn. All right. Oh, goddamn it. I'm gonna take a drink of from my bottle of water. I went down the wrong hall. Goddamn. I'll just full of blunders tonight. Woo. Alright, let's take a quick look, see if I'm missing out on anything cool. Doesn't look like it. Cool, awesome. Alright, cool. Nope. Mr. Blanket. It is very cold, and nothing I do makes it warm. I could turn on the heat, I guess. That would probably do it. But that's extra money. What do you have to say? This is the gear shop. Look inside if you want to tune up your gear. Alright, you already said that, guy. I'm trying to go inside and talk to you. I suppose we should take a look. Ah, so we can buy, yeah, might as well. Alright, so you can't buy that one. Makes sense. Okay. So the only thing we missed out on is buying up armor. Oh, I see. Okay. Welcome back. What do you get to say? This door leads to the hall. Well, what door? That door. Okay. I suppose I could have spun my camera around. That would have helped out a lot. Alright, I think we had another area over there to check, so let's take a look. big doors are probably at best something we can go through with the mech. Otherwise, just ambient. Okay, that isn't a door either. I don't think there was anything over here. What the? Oh! Okay, that's kind of cool. We can go take a closer look at both of the mechs. Alright. Or gears, as they were. Okay. It would look like we have to go through the hall. It's the only place we can go. This is where we rest. Do you want to rest too? I don't think we need to. Oh. Guess there are many things in the world I've never seen. I'll probably discover them if I try hard enough on my own. Sure thing, buddy. This is just like the bunks then. Alright. Doctor's office? How do you do? I'm the nurse from the Yggdrasil. I'll do the best I can. So come by sometime. Words. Good, perfect weight. Interesting. Is this wound from the battle? You ask. No, I fell off the bed next door. I'm so pathetic. Happens, I guess. Poor guy. It's an interesting penguin doll. Dude. I didn't realize that was an elevator. I wanted to check out that other door. That's probably where we have to go, so. Yggdrasil is great. You know what this game makes me really want to do? Like, more than anything? Rewatch. Sorry, I'm giggling to myself. Jeez. Rewatch Full Metal Panic. I was in the middle of rewatching it when I think I just said fuck it and watched season 4 instead. Because I think it was as it was about to come out, and I like watched like maybe the first season before I just said fuck it. They had far too many barbarians. I mean, highly energetic lads around the young master. So yours truly, who is in charge of education, demanded to have this room created. But because of that, I ended up having to take a side job. How may I be of service? Oh, so he's like the general shop. Okay. Interesting. Not entirely certain what upping your elemental stats does, but I'm sure that'll become more apparent later on. Alrighty. Oh yeah, you know what? They never really talked about it much, but wasn't Faye like really good at painting? I wonder why they haven't mentioned that yet. Or they haven't brought that back up. There's so many fucking places to look. Once again, final checks. Every second counts. The young master forever. When we had engine trouble a long time ago, the young master jumped in to fix it. Sigurd tried to help the young master, and they both ended up injuring one eye. Yeah, we're proud of the young master, but he sometimes rushes into things. The chief thinks it's all his own fault. I'm glad that they mentioned that. I was gonna say, you know, maybe they just literally have that cliche bit about them. Like, oh, we're pirates, we wear eye patches, yeah! Woo! But instead giving it like a, even if it's just a minor little thing like that, just, I don't know, instantly, I can't, wow, I just legitimately can't speak. It instantly makes it a much more cooler trait. A much cooler trait, whatever, right? Local man running. Running from military, disappointed no one wants to hear about his painting skills. I had to test how fast I could input, that's all. Okay, that ladder is like way more tempting than the doorway. Do not open hatch while in motion. Okay. But like, I can't go down, so... Okay, there we go. We're stuck here until we stop, I guess. We're almost at the hideout. We're almost at the hideout. We'll probably stop there for a while for supplies and repairs. Whee! Kind of jinxed it. I know I mentioned it earlier that we're having a pretty decent night for like my computer not like acting up on me. But we dropped a few frames. I saw it happen, so I was looking at it. It was so few, I don't even think you guys probably noticed it, but... Oh yes, look at all that jittery textures. Woo! That's probably my fault, not the game's fault, but still. We upscaled it to 4K. Mostly because, I don't know, I'm of the mind that if I'm already emulating a game, I might as well try to make it look a little bit better if I can. Not to slight the retro graphics by any means, but I got the option, so why not, right? Sometimes it's to my own detriment. The fucking Tales of the Abyss playthrough was okay at times and nightmarish at other times. Oh, welcome back, Bart. Welcome back.
Bart, what did you bring us?
Well, I've got a new model gear and 2 people that we helped out. Does that count?
Eh? A gear? How boring. Don't you have anything more interesting?
I thought you'd say that. Ah, but look, this is amber. Found in a stalactite cavern of the desert. It's rare to find one with a bug in it.
Oh, wow, thanks, Bart.
What's that?
Let's go, we gotta show it off to everyone.
Now then, I'm gonna tune up my gear a little. Why don't you 2 go and have some tea with old Maison? Thanks, old Maison. What, thanks for having some tea. Please walk right this way. Oh, this is the residential section. Walk this way. It's funny to think that I've had moments over the past years where I've managed to do at least 6 hours, if not longer, of streams, you know, doing voices and being eccentric and so on and so forth. And then, you know, get a little sick, and all of a sudden my energy's just gone. Iron Whip, huh? Is this a picture of a little boy and girl? He said we'd die if we entered, but I mean, he ain't in the party. He ain't gonna know. Yeah, he'll never know if someone jumped on his bed. Alright. So check the door first. Oh, that's where we're supposed to go. Wonder where the other direction went. Oh, this is the dining hall. I'm sorry if it's so, gosh. I'm actually not entirely certain what that word is. I feel like I should, but I don't. Oops. Please take a seat. Oh yeah, man. Time for some tea. Ugh. Perhaps you would like some of my famous tea, Master Fay. Good doctor. Good doctor? Rather, fuck you. I love floating cups, man. That's so funny. Goddamn. Young visitors are rare indeed. The young master must be very happy. If things were normal, we wouldn't be living in the desert. Rather back in the royal palace. Royal palace? You mean that the young one is connected to the old Fatima dynasty? Pardon? No. I'm just a senile old fool who talks too much. And pay no attention to what I just said. But that one-eyed youth does have a certain bearing. Oh, well spoken, sir. Awfully good of you to notice. If I may, I would like to tell you. The young gent is the last forgotten reminder of the once proud Fatima dynasty. It is before it was destroyed by Shah Khan's minions. Prince Bartholomew Fatima. Bartholomew. Edbard the Fourth. Edbard the Fourth's successor. Jeez, I don't know why I couldn't facilitate those words together. Well, I'm sure they announced Bartholomew died of an illness 12 years ago. And officially, yes. However, in reality, we rescued the young prince from Shah Khan's evil grasp. Is Shah Khan gonna be the same dude that was like, power, evil, destruction, yes, that was going after us earlier? And then why must the prince, why must the prince, rightful heir, resort to piracy? I don't know, because he's unhinged? Maybe. And since fleeing here, we have had only one wish. The young master would grow up to be a great man. Not to reclaim the throne.
And that is correct. Of course, to say we have absolutely no desire to restore his rule would, well, be a lie.
I would assume. It'd be one of those moments of like, there's no way you managed to get a bunch of like people that lived in a monarchy to just up and be like, yeah, bro, we don't give a shit if you're the king. We just care if you grow up to be happy. It's like, maybe some of them, not all of them.
We have plans for that as well. And part of those plans would include piracy. Well, it's more of a stepping stone. Well, yes. But there is a reason for that. Both Ava and Kislev are devoted to excavating the ruins. Each country's strength is increasing daily. Even if we could get the help of all of our comrades to start a revolution, the combined strength of all of us would still not be enough. We would certainly be suppressed by Shah Khan's guards in no time at all. We needed power. We tried excavating the ruins using the Yggdrasil, but it didn't work as well as expected. Excavating requires tremendous amounts of time, labor, and capital. The best we can do with our sand cruiser is find small items in the sand.
And the piracy is more of just whatever they excavate becomes ours.
And regardless of who gains the ruins technology, one thing is certain. Both Kislev and Ava will simply use that power to oppress the other. I agreed with the young master's idea of creating a new power to balance things out a little.
I see. So they're basically playing a neutral faction. Which I think is a very reasonable way to be. Especially, in like war-torn world. I mean, technically, bandit groups across history would sometimes pop up under certain circumstances too. Everyone knows the tale of Robin Hood. I mean, that's more a tale than it is truth. From as far as I'm aware, at the very least. but the sentiment of it, though, right, is like he's essentially restoring a balance of stealing from the rich, giving to the poor. Sorry, I couldn't think of the fucking way to phrase it off the top of my head. Which essentially makes him a neutral party.
It is far more effective to plunder from the shadows than to excavate the technology oneself, I suppose. Of course, pillaging is an unpardonable act. However, for Ava, for Ignis, to continue like this, I'm sure it sounds rather self-righteous. And it is something which outsiders like ourselves cannot comment upon. From what you have told me, I feel that the result of what you are doing will be good. Seeing your children here tells me that. I am much relieved by your words. Another cup of tea? Oh, yes, please, thank you. You mentioned you had plans. Why have you not put them into action? With Miss Margie imprisoned, I dare not do anything. She would not happen to be Nissan's. Oh, you are well informed, my dear doctor. She is the great mother, Marguerite? Margaret? Was there their attempt at spelling Margaret, but like really extended?
I'm willing to take corrections on anything I mispronounce here. I'm also trying to figure out if that was an attempt at like Nissan, as in, well, Nissan, I guess. I don't know. I was trying to like further elaborate, or if that is more meant to be pronounced more like Nissan or something, which is weird. I've never heard of that either. But some of it's spelt really weirdly, so it's really hard to tell where they were going with any of it sometimes. That's a legitimate name, I'm pretty sure. Really? I mean, I don't doubt it. I think I've talked about it before. My real world name, Brendan. Its original name was like Briannanin or something like that, or whatever. And the original name for Connor is like Conchobar something. I think there's like a bit more to it. Like really fucking weird, outlandish sounding names that were real names, you know, at one point. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I believe it, but what the fuck? She's the great mother of Margaret and Nissan, and the young master's cousin as well. Why would Shah Khan take her captive? I don't know, leverage? Yeah, for the Fatima Jasper. Or for the plot device, sorry, my bad. That's the other option. Oh, the Fatima Jasper. That is said to show where great treasure is. And my good doctor, you know an awful lot. I am most impressed. And terrified. Here, let me add a little something to your tea. It's not poison, I promise. You do not like my tea, Master Faye? No, it's not that. I'm just not thirsty. Well, we have no idea what the great treasure actually is. It was the friends that they made along the way. But it is said to be strong enough to save our kingdom if it is ever in plight. Oh, and Margaret has the Jasper, and that tells that tells her location. Probably not. My guess would be that she might have information on where it is, and she's withholding it. And without her, they'd be on a giant world spanning wild goose chase. And only half of it. Only half of it, to be precise. The young master and Miss Margaret each have half. Only by combining the two halves will everyone know where the treasure is. Anyone, for that matter. What exactly is the Fatima Jasper? When you say half of the Jasper, I imagine some kind of necklace? And only the heirs to Ava and Nissan know what it really looks like. I see. So that is why they have never locked up. Or wait. Oh, so that is why they have her locked up. My guess is that when they do find out, the chances of living or not, I apologize. I was only supposing the worst case. So please, do not take it to heart. No, that is a terribly realistic scenario. What exactly do you mean by great treasure? Oh, I haven't the foggiest, really. He means the gear. The gear, it has to be it. It was Bart. Okay, I thought so, but I wasn't certain, so we just... Nah. Oh, young master. Oh, the gear's all right? Huh? Yeah. And even though we were sealed, sand's gotten into the joints. It's a pain in the neck to fix, so I'm having the crew take care of it now. My job is just to pilot them anyway. Besides, I'm bad with machines, so I just get in the way. Young master. Oh, anyway, what were we talking about? And the great treasure could be a gear? Oh, yeah. You know, something like that is drawn in one of the Ava picture scrolls. Picture scrolls. Well,
if you're interested, then let's go to the planning room. I'll show you what I mean. Since you're my special guest, after all. Well, that sounds interesting.
I suppose we should go find that picture scroll, huh? Bum, 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 bum. Bum. So that was an exit, huh?
Well, this place is incredible. Can't believe we not even have equipment like this in the capital. Yeah, surprised? Well, all this technology is thanks to Sig. Hey, Faye. Don't stand on the screen. I won't be able to see. All right, men. Display my special file on the main screen.
I mean, his choice of words could easily backfire on him.
What is this? Oh, picture scroll. Nearly 500 years ago. Old, whatever. This is King Fatima. This is King Fatima the First. A body cloaked in flames, making a blood oath with the giants. They say he used to use the strength of. I can't even do his voice anymore. What little of it I had even. They say he used the strength of the giants to found Ava. Well, it is amazing that such an ancient scroll exists, and in such a good state too. But the ethos controlled all of these such things. Well, normally, yes. But this was one of my father's prized possessions. Next. After founding the country, Fatima forced the giants into slumber to protect his kingdom's people if needed in the future. But we don't know where they're hidden.
Ah, and I bet you the giants are gears. They're not. So again, going back to what I was saying earlier, this is less of like these legends and tales and religious what's the word for it? I guess like what do they call them? Allegories, metaphors, whatever the words are for it. Are just all misdirections. It's just for ancient technology that is actually really futuristic technology that a regressed form of humanity is now stumbling upon. I say regressed, but you know what I mean. Like they once used to be able to travel the stars, and now they can barely, muster the tools for war. In comparison, I guess that's not entirely true. They do have the airships and shit, but still. In another record, one of the giants is called the Great Fatima Treasure. Well, what about the Jasper? Hey, you sure know a lot. Perhaps you're one of Shah Khan's spies? What? No, of course not. It is only an intellectual interest. I'm just kidding with you. It appears the Jasper is the key to finding that treasure. A key, huh? Yeah, that could be what Shah Khan's looking for. Well, not just him. Gebler is also looking for it. Really? Well, then we must rescue Margaret as soon as possible. Oh yeah, you're telling me. Ugh, my voice, my throat. Since we helped you, I was wondering if I could in turn ask you for a favor. Would that be for us to help you rescue her? Ah, you're a bright boy. That's exactly it. I heard from Sigurd, it seems that both Ava and Kislev are after you. So we can help you. You can help us. How about it? It's not much to ask. Well, if it pays for my room and board, then I will help in any way I can. What do you think, Faye? You've not said anything for a while. Yeah, you were great back there, in the stalactite cavern. Our strength alone is greater than 10, no, 20 of Shakan's gods. I'd love to have your power on my side. Why does everyone want to make me fight? Huh? What's wrong with you all of a sudden? Faye? I just don't feel like it. Love to have my power. Well, I don't have any. What's wrong with you, Doc? Everyone. You're driving me to the brink. Then there's that gear. Groff and my father. I don't have time to help you out with your problems when I've got enough of my own. And what's with him? Is he always that short-tempered? No, that is not it. I'm sorry. Things have happened so fast that he has not had time to deal with it all. Try to understand. Yeah, I kind of like Faye's character a little bit at the moment. Like, he's kind of got like this mix of like brooding and like annoyed kind of personality going on, but at the same time, it's like he's never not willing to do the thing that he's supposed to do, so he never really comes off as like annoying, if that makes sense. It's only when like when things come to a head that he like a bursting point, if you will, that he kind of lashes out. Like they're like, oh yes, Faye, you're very fucking strong. Lend us your power. I'm sure you could kill 20 of his men in a single go. And he's just like, fuck you. Is that all I am? Is like, you know, big meat muscle fist guy who also pilots big bad ass mech dude thing? He's like, nah, bro, I got my own problems. Fuck you, I'm out. Which is unique, because I feel like most times, like, brooding anime protagonists, even from any era, tend to all be, like, very similar. So, it's kind of refreshing. We're gonna help service Gears now. Yeah. Let's go. Is there no way to bring the elevator back up? It's kind of funny. I didn't realize that I was supposed to come in here. Boy, what's up with this Fagot? I try to become his friend and he suddenly explodes in anger. Well, look, he's got a lot on his mind, I guess. I don't want to force him, but he would be fun to fight. Maybe I'll just ask him again later. Why lie and wait out of the elevator? This could end up interesting, I guess. Okay, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, that's where he is, 100%. Can I have a second? Maybe later. Hey, come back later then. Oh, that's where that was. Guess so. Sitan told me all about your story. Do you want to talk about it? Why didn't you tell me? It sounds pretty rough. I feel bad giving him like the pompous kind of air to his voice. I really should stop. I think it's killing my throat to do too many voices like that back to back. Listen, I'm sorry for being a jerk just now. Forgive me, will you? Ho. Anyway, sorry to bring it up again, okay, but... No. What? I don't like fighting like you do. I only get into that gear because I had to. I only got into that gear because I had to. I'd rather not ride them. If you want that gear so much, you can have it. I don't even want it. You think I like fighting? Is that it? Don't you? Sure looks that way. It looks like the only thing you do enjoy is fighting. Well, I can't let that slide. Who likes fighting? Take that back. Like it or not, I fight because I have to as well. I got my reasons, but it's not like you'd understand. Well, I don't have a reason... well, I don't have a reason to fight. I don't want to fight. I think you kind of have a reason to fight. I mean, if you want to know what happened to your dad, right? I mean, come on, Faye. I just want to live in peace and quiet. But you people keep on hounding me to get into a gear. Why don't you just leave me alone? Well, it's because I see your skill and think. Well, I hate it. Whenever I get in a gear, people get hurt. If I fight, people die. I don't want to hurt people. I don't want anyone to die. I hate it. Can't you see that? Yeah. I know the feeling of just wanting to run away from reality. But do you think the kids left behind in your village would understand? Shatan told me what happened in the hall. Would it have been better if you had done nothing? Sure, what happened because you were in the gear. But even if you hadn't, people would have died, right? You weren't the reason. Yeah, you know, it's one thing, I mentioned this a little bit last time, so I think I should dive into it a little bit. Last time, you know, he mentioned a lot, and there was a lot of blame kind of flung both ways, actually 3 ways, if you think about it. From Ellie blaming him instead of blaming herself, to him blaming himself, to the blame being shifted by Shatan, and and to some extent, the villagers blaming Faye as well. But before anything, before any of it happened, the first catalyst actually that caused any of the shit show was one of the soldiers gunning down Timothy. And we know now that it was all an instigation. It was all 100% bait for Faye without him having any context to it. There's no way he could have known. Right? So I honestly don't think that Faye can be blamed for any of it. It's one of those moments of like, speaking in a tone of like, if you were an anime protagonist, you had the drive and the bravery. Because I get it, we're in real world, we're all just regular old human beings. We saw a giant mech and a bunch of guns and explosions, but like, I'm going the other way now. Bye bye. You know, we have enough about us that I bet we would not. I don't know. If I saw a giant robot and it was nice and open, and I thought I could get to it within reasonable spacing, I don't know, man. Can you imagine how cool it'd be to be like the hero of the day? Part of that might drive me. I don't know. I can't speak for it, as that is not reality. But besides the point. Yeah. Anyways, that said, though, like, yeah. I'm really glad that they're playing around with it a lot too. We recently played a game called Tales of the Abyss. Tales of the Abyss. Sorry, jeez. On stream, and I think that its massive flaw for me was that it kind of tackled a very similar topic. The main character ends up killing a large swath of people, but it ultimately isn't his fault. He didn't know what was going to happen. He had no sweet fucking clue what was about to happen. He had an innate power in him that someone brought out for him, and it ended up doing the deed. Not much of a spoiler for anyone that maybe is familiar with the Tales series and wants to play them all at some point. Trust me when I say it'll be very apparent for very long, and it's still fairly recent, or fairly early on in the game, so no harm, no foul in that regard either. But yeah, no. But the point is that like, but instead of tackling it in a way like this, where people want to talk to Faye, they want to talk them through it. You know, not all the characters just inherently blame him, or at least the ones that do, they make them out to be a bit more of the irrational type. You know, like they're just grieving and they don't know where to direct their anger. You know, so on and so forth. I feel like they're attacking mortality and the morality of it all, like way better in this than they did in Tales of the Abyss, which makes me a bit sad because I think Tales of the Abyss was a pretty decent game overall. It just had some storytelling crutches that it just wasn't willing to let go of and just lean more into some of its aspects. Not to mention how lazy shit got near the end, which is fine. I know I've heard that Xenogears actually has an issue near its end as well with laziness. I don't know what that is. We'll figure it out when we get there, I'm sure. But I've been warned that Disc 2 has its moments of, or it is in some form rushed. But that's alright. Budget timing. Okay, that's fair. I say laziness, but that's pretty much what I meant. I mean, it's one of those moments of like, there was in some form or fashion there was something that slowed or rushed along development in some form. All right, because I don't really know what happened with Abyss, so I should have elaborated on that. That's my bad. If it were laziness, it's inexcusable. If it was budget and like time constraint stuff, that's whatever. That's not the developer's fault. So, goddamn, my nose is buffing fucking crap out of me. My sinuses are just. I have a feeling I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and just be out of commission. I can fucking feel it. It's gonna suck. It's whatever. I'll deal. I can't stream tomorrow anyways, so and it doesn't hurt me either. Anyways, but yeah, no. So it's just like, yeah, I think already this game is proving that the writing team behind it really cared. Mind you, it's still got a lot of the 90s bits and baubles that are like there's a level of tropiness that's kind of, you know, I wouldn't ever call this tropey. But I mean, like, you can kind of see the underlying bits of it. Like I said yesterday, you know, like I can see a lot of different shows and a lot of different like inspirations that either were like taken from it or even it took. Because again, I don't remember the time frames of when these things all came out, so I won't say definitively one way or the other on that for the sake of my own ignorance. But or not for the sake of it, but in spite of it. I don't know, fuck, phrasing, wording, not my strong suit right now. But yeah, you know, stuff like that though, right? It's just like, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, we probably still got like what, like it was somewhere in the range of like 50 to 70 hours left of game to make me eat my words or reinforce them for that matter. Oh, big stretch. My arm. I'm not used to sitting down for this long anymore. I'll get used to it. I'll get back into the swing of things before too long. Anyways. But even if you hadn't, people would have died, right? You weren't the reason. More... no. The people who started the war are the reason. And unless you get rid of the reason, nothing will change. I fight to get rid of that reason. Right now, there is no other way, so I have to fight. But that doesn't mean I enjoy it. Also, there is an entirely... I understand why you would feel guilt toward the kids in your village. And I know why you don't want to harm others. But if you want to make it up to those children, don't you have to fight? Yeah, I kind of agree with Bart on this. Also, there's a... I feel like this is a misunderstanding that gets made a lot. So it's actually a really good part of Faye's character in that idea, right? Is that there's a difference between brawling and sparring and that, and then like the overarching idea of fighting, right? Like sparring is generally friendly training, right? Or just exercise for that matter sometimes. And then stuff like battling or warring, if you will, is generally like the widely considered extreme, I guess. And then things like brawling is like the asshole move on average. The nuance of fighting. Anyways. But yeah, no, I think that Bart kind of brings up a good point, though. Is that, like, it's not about whether you want to or you don't. It's more about a fact of, like, you probably have to. And, you know what? If you want to sit on your hands and wallow in your own self-pity, then that's your fucking choice, too. I mean, go for it, man. Bart isn't telling him, don't do that. But Bart's telling him that, like, you say one thing, but you're doing another. And it's true. That's kind of what Faye's doing. So, I'm curious about this. You do have a reason to fight. A reason you must fight. But as long as you ignore it, and continue to run away, those kids will never forgive you. Just remember that. And another thing. I'm not saying that not helping me is running away. You don't have to help. This is my own problem. I don't want to get you in this against your will. But if I had your skill, I could bring all of this to an end. And make it up to those kids. At least, that's what I think. Anyway, sorry to hold you up. The mechanic wanted to talk to you about your gear. You probably don't care now, but at least hear what he has to say. Wee! Oh, no. Wee! That said, though, guys, it is midnight 30. And I am very dead.